ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। You can have it, but slow. You can have it. They all are comfortable in English, everybody knows. So very happy to be with all of you this evening. And such a beautiful Harinam Sankirtan in the busy streets with so many people watching. It was so nice. I was telling the brahmacharis that we should get a long ranger so that the sound will go to a longer range, reach to the ears of the people who are going on the road. But people were very much watching your dance and loud kirtan, and many were taking videos of all of you today. People were very inspired. Many of the boys were sitting there. The holy name definitely was heard by many today. Very nice. You all go like this once a week. You all go. Big one you do, like this. That's book exhibition you go. Okay. Once in a month you do for like 1.5 to 2 hours you do. Good. Lot of people can get connected. Yeah, very good. Yeah. So I heard that a vacation is coming for how many of you now, shortly? 1 week vacation. How many of you are getting? Almost half of them. Okay. What is this? Is winter vacation or no? Diwali vacation. Okay. And then after that you will have winter vacation, correct, no? So they told me to say something about when you are going away from devotees for a vacation, how to not take a vacation from Krishna consciousness. How to keep your Krishna consciousness going on. Like for example, even when you are you have examination day, still you don't forget to eat your prasad, correct, no? Morning prasad, afternoon prasad, evening prasad, you definitely take. Even an exam day, we don't compromise. Similarly, when we go home away from the association of devotees, the situation is different there. When we are living with devotees, it's different. So, we will speak something about that. You see, the most important thing in spiritual life is your consciousness. What do you think who you are? So, everybody has their identification with their ego. So, depending on what do you think you are going to, everything else is going to follow accordingly. For example, if I think I'm an engineer, then all my mind, my senses, my intelligence, everything is grouped about that thought, and all the actions follow that particular thought. So I have seen with my own eyes some of the boys who join our center. They are too much impressed by material success. Somebody he got in Microsoft, he got in Cognizant, he got assessment, he got in Ignorant. I love from different companies. Then they become too much impressed. And their faces, eyes are lit up and they are too much impressed with that type of material success. The final year, they even put up on the notice board who got job in which company along with the photo, and he got placed here, he got placed there. So that means, they get too much impressed by material success. But when you tell spiritual information about fitness pastimes and going back home, back to Godhead, or some big Maharajas coming, they are not so though that much delighted because they don't identify with spirituality so much. Hmm. Identify with material life too much. That kind of thing. Just like, for example, somebody sees a Lamborghini car coming to the temple, or somebody seeing a Mercedes Benz car, a Tesla car coming into the temple campus. Somebody says, "Oh, bada party aaya hai." They're too much impressed because big party has come. That means, they get impressed by somebody who is very rich. Right now. So all of us, we are awestruck or wonderstruck, or which means we say astonished by something. What astonishes you? If something spiritual astonishes you, you are very rightly situated. Uh, Like, for example, if somebody is thinking, oh, there's nothing much. I get to do so much additional tapasya I can do. Oh, the great soul has come to the temple. I want to go and associate. If the sound vibration that you are hearing, lectures are impressing you, or hearing a Bhagavatam impresses you. So, uh, in case, let us assume that somebody is spiritually not so impressed with anything. They are materially impressed. Material success, material achievements, these are only impressing a person. The person should know that I am externally a spiritualist, but internally my heart is sold out to Maya. Right? So, on the other hand, when I see people like Rishikesh Mafatla and other people, you know, they, they wear pant, shirt, coat, suit, boot and all. But their heart is of a very great, serious devotee. So, we have seen that externally a businessman can wear business dress. So, your externals are not that important. Your internals are most important. What you think who you are. So, your internals means how much you identify with Srila Prabhupada or with your spiritual master, with ISKCON, with spiritual world, with scriptures, the truth spoken in scriptures. So the sense of belonging to these things, this is very important in spiritual life. In fact, the whole purpose of our morning program, our weekly classes, and our camps and all these things is for us to transform our internal state of consciousness, transform that. Mm. Just like if you see, the coconut is hard outside but soft inside, correct, no? You see the pulp, coconut pulp is very soft. Prabhupada said the outside coconut shell fiber, that fiber he said is like grass body. And the rocky shell inside, that's like subtle body. And the white coconut, that is like the soul. And the coconut water is the Krishna Prem. What are the four things? Which are the two things which are useless and which are the two things which are very important? The hard shell, outer fiber, and the green one, that one, and the shell. These two are thrown away into the fire. You use it like a furnace. In the furnace, you use it, correct? You throw it in the fire. But other two, you don't throw it. Which one? Coconut and water, yeah. They're tasty, delicious, they're very nutritious also. They are important. Similarly, in this body, the gross body and subtle body, gross body is burned away at the time of death. And the subtle body goes with the soul. Why it goes with the soul? Subtle body is there for you to store your unfulfilled desires. Correct? No? In one life. Say you have 20, 30 desires to fulfill. Subtle body takes the soul to the next body where it can give shape to those desires. Correct, no? And by the time you give shape to those desires, another 50 more comes. 20 are exhausted and 50 more have come now. Then you get a third body, fourth body. And this is why living beings keep multiplying the desires and hopping and jumping from body to body like that. So in the Kapila section, third canto, he says, Charetyashya kosham nigiranam analoyata. He says that subtle body is also burned away at one point of time. He says, it is left behind in this world. When is it? Sarva Prabhupada explains in his lecture, stopping of the gross body is called death. Stopping of the subtle body is called moksha. And awakening of the Swarupa is called Swarupa Siddhi. So there are three attainments. So the stopping of the gross body happens anyway automatically for everybody at the time of death. Gross body stops functioning. Doctor says heart is not beating. Loved up, loved up. It's not beating anymore. Either brain death or heart death or multiple organ failure. That's called bodily death. But then subtle body goes with the soul. But if the subtle bodies, the subtle bodily impressions of the desires, they match with the soul's activities in the spiritual world. That means subtle body is filled with spiritual desires. I want to worship the Lord. I want to chant Hare Krishna. I want to study the scriptures. I want to associate with devotees. I want to cook bhoga. So you have multiple spiritual desires. Like we all can have spiritual desires, right now? So if your subtle body becomes filled with spiritual desires and material desires are exhausted, at that time the subtle body is also given up. Why the subtle body is given up? Only if you have some material desire, the soul needs the subtle body. If there are zero material desires, do you need the subtle body? Subtle body is there to execute material desires. So that at that time the soul leaves the subtle body and attains moksha. He goes to 0, 0. That's called as Brahma Bhuta stage. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Nashochati Nakangshati. It says, Samasarveshu Bhuteshu Madbhakti Labate Param. So right now we are called Jiva Bhuta. So after you have exhausted all your material desires and your subtle body is filled with spiritual desires, that time you are called as Brahma Bhuta. So the Brahma Bhut stage means the Jiva Bhuta stage means the two coverings are there with us, gross body and subtle body. You have heard the word living entity? Prabhupada says. So soul means only soul. Living entity means soul with two coverings. Gross and subtle coverings. So the living entity, he gives up the gross and subtle covering and goes to the Brahma level. But then that soul is also not fully evolved. He has given up the world and all the desires. So he's called as a Tyagi. Earlier he was a Bhogi. The Bhogi needs gross and subtle body. And the Tyagi gives up gross and subtle body and he goes to 0, 0. Where he has done Tyaga of everything. You have seen Jain sadhus, you have seen? Or you have seen the Himalayan Babas, you have seen? So they are all, what are they? Tyagis. So they are ready to give up the gross and subtle covering and come to Brahman, and then they are Nashats, and they have no ambitions and no lamentation of anything. But then all of you are actually going to go beyond that because you are practicing Bhakti Yoga. So then you develop desires. You don't nullify the desires. You develop positive desires, but they are spiritual desires. You don't want to just attain Shanti. You want to see Krishna face to face. You want to go into the spiritual world where you want to meet the Lord and meet the devotees, eternally perform spiritual activities. So those desires, when you cultivate, then you go in the positive axis. That is Vaikuntha, spiritual zone, correct? Then you attain love. So in the negative axis, you get only miseries. And 0, 0, you get peace. And in positive axis, you get bliss. You get spiritual bliss. You get. So the whole program in our movement is to take all of us from the negative axis to 0, 0 and beyond 0, 0 to the positive axis. So first of all, you hear the knowledge and you try to understand it, ask questions, clear up the doubts. There are pockets of faithlessness in our head. When we hear the lectures and everything, when you shoot down those pockets of faithlessness, then gradually as the doubts are eliminated, it's like switching on the light in a dark room. Then you become enlightened one. Actually, the most important thing is spiritual practices have to be done from the bottom of the heart. You know what is the meaning of doing from the bottom of the heart? Huh? Like when you are going to speak to mother, father at home, you talk about household matters and all. We all talk very genuinely, correct or not? Is it not true? But when it comes to other people, uncle, aunt, family, other families and neighbors and all, we may not talk everything to them. We keep something with us and we tell something because we have some distrust. Correct, no? We don't have full trust in other people. But when it comes to somebody who is our own blood relative, like brother, sister, mother, father, we may be very, very open, frank with them. That's what I'll call as bottom of the heart. Huh? You express yourself from the bottom of the heart. But when it comes to others, you have distrust. So in the spiritual life, our initial spiritual practices, there is some difference. Like sometimes we may externally chant, externally do the morning programs, and it's like a stone over which you pour water. After you have finished pouring, the stone is dry and nothing happened inside the stone. It's like that. On the other hand, Shastra say we should be like a sponge in which you pour water. The sponge, what does it do? Soaks. It absorbs. Yeah, it absorbs. Later on, you squeeze the sponge, comes out. Huh? Similarly, if somebody is taken in Krishna consciousness, when troubles are given to him, they squeeze him, he will release Krishna consciousness. Like Prahlad was squeezed by his father. He started preaching Krishna consciousness. Haridas Thakur was beaten him in 21 marketplace. He started preaching very vigorously. Prabhupada got 2 heart attacks, went to America and started preaching. The more you give trouble to a devotee, he starts preaching. He comes out. You squeeze him, then Krishna consciousness comes out. Correct, no? You will see that. So we have to absorb like a sponge and not allow Krishna consciousness to be very superficial. Huh? So now it is said in the scriptures that if you put yourself in an atmosphere where there is abundant Krishna consciousness, gradually you can influence your mind positively. This is a very well-known thing, the good association in the company of devotees. But at the same time, you will see, even if you are in good association, there are minds which are very expert not to take in. There was one fellow working in one of the ISKCON temples, and in the gift stall he was working. He was there almost 30 years, and there was no change in him. He is from one place, he comes from some kind of Lingayat family or something from South India, I think. He had this thing, he had his mustache, and he had his coming to the stall and doing the sale and everything. He would come to the temple hall, like that he will do an offer of business and go. He wouldn't chant one round also. He wouldn't chant. There are people who can be in a temple campus and not get affected. So the absorption matters a lot. So I'll tell you one little story regarding this. There was one sage sitting at the brink of a jungle in the outskirts of the village. He was just sitting under a tree in meditation. It was getting dark, a little darker in the evening time, like 6 o'clock or 6:30 or something like that. It was getting dark. So one young lady came running, and then the sage heard somebody's running sound. So he opened his eyes and he saw that she just hit him on the leg like that, and then she was running into the forest with tears in her eyes because she became a little afraid that in some season the evening gets dark very fast, correct, no? So she was worried that the husband went to cut firewood and bring, but she had told him to come before the sun sets. So she was calling out loudly, and then of course within 10 minutes she found the husband and brought him back. She told, why are you in the jungle? Because the ferocious animals start coming out after it gets dark. So then husband and wife, they both were coming back, and he was carrying the firewood coming. So as soon as they came out of the jungle, when she was coming here, she saw the sage sitting. And then wife told the husband, hey, there's a saint sitting here. Come, let's do namaskar. So they both offered namaskar. The sage became angry on her. She told her, you see, when you are going into the jungle, you gave me a kick. And now when you are coming out of the jungle, you guys are offering namaskar to me. What is this drama you are doing? And she was shocked. Really? How can I kick a saintly person like you? I'm sorry, I didn't even know that. When I was running into the jungle, my mind was completely absorbed in Only one thought, where is my husband? Huh? Is he safe in the forest? And I didn't see anything else, she said. I was practically blind. But on the way back, because I was coming with my husband, I could see all the details. I saw the trees, I saw the village, and I'm coming back. I saw you. Namaskar. So probably I was, due to my unconscious state, I kicked you or something. Maybe I must have done. Again, she offered obeisance and said, I'm very sorry. So the sage said, okay, it's already go carry on. So they went to the village. So the sage spoke to himself. He said, I am a saintly person. I'm supposed to chant Krishna's names and remember Krishna. But I took this small offense so seriously that she kicked me while going. Uh, because I was taking this offense, that means I was not sufficiently absorbed. If I was absorbed, will that kick matter to me? No. On the other hand, her absorption in her husband was much greater than my absorption in Krishna. Therefore, she didn't even notice that she is kicking me while going. Correct, no? So the sage immediately felt that I need to improve my absorption in my consciousness. He understood that. So this kind of absorption is one thing that can completely make you oblivious to the external environment. Wherever you go, you can be in the middle of a fish market, you can chant Hare Krishna peacefully. Because in fish market, smell is also bad and noise is also there. Correct, no? Huh? So imagine you were waiting in a railway station. One time it happened to me when I was going from IIT to Bombay Temple. I was waiting. I saw that all the bogies were heavily crowded. One small bogie was empty practically. Not many people. 2, 3 people were there. I thought it's a small bogie, easy to get in. I got in. But after getting in, I realized it was a luggage bogie. Luggage bogie? But they had 3, 4 baskets of fish. Wow, smell was coming. Huh? My Lord, it's plugging. And it was a fast train also. At least slow train will stop in every station. This fast train stops after 6 stations. That was a punishment for me. The mistake I did is getting into a luggage bogie. Of course, I had beadbag hanging in the neck, but I couldn't chant because my mind was repeatedly telling, fishes are there inside this, fishes are smelling very bad. I want to jump outside, but right now I cannot jump. Train is moving also. Correct, no? Generally, our mind gets disturbed by the external environment, either nasty smell or the sound or sight. Correct, no? But when you are absorbed, it hardly matters. You can be sitting in a railway station, lot of noises all around. Chalti gaadi pakadna nahi chahiye, and they're making announcement and all that. Everything is going on. But you are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. It's like a raging waves. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. If you keep repeatedly chanting, one time I remember I was in Dadar station and I went on chanting about 8, 10 rounds. So many of the trains I could have caught, they were going. But the chanting was so ecstatic, I thought anyway I can go by the next train always. But it's not always for us. Sometimes we feel very ecstatic when you're chanting. So when you are hooked, when your mind is absorbed, you can go on, you will not even know where you are sitting. But if you are not absorbed, we are like, for example, when you are not absorbed, you get up and walk. And then you're slowly looking at the notice board. What is there in the notice board? Or you peep out of the window, a crow is sitting on the tree. You are seeing everything. And you're looking at another boy. Did you call me? You ask him. He said, I never called you. Unnecessarily we give self-invitation. That means we are not absorbed. There's no absorption. When absorption is there, once Lokanath Maharaj was telling once, you should be chanting in such a way that others should fear to disturb you. They want to tell you something, they come near and they say, my Lord, this one is too serious. Hare Krishna, he's chanting so vigorously and he feels that, I cannot disturb this fellow. That means you are fully absorbed in chanting. So, absorption in chanting, absorption in Bhagavatam class, absorption in service. The example is given in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. One arrow maker was making an arrow, sharpening an arrow. At that time, one julus went, one procession, big procession, king and ministers and the retinue, his entourage, lot of chariots and horses and elephants and band also they're playing. Raja Padar rahe hain, dun, 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 they play, na? Huh? And lot of music and everything. And this fellow sharpening the arrow. And after half an hour, somebody asked him some question. They asked him, hey, you didn't take part in that procession? He said, which procession? Yes. Just now it passed here. He didn't even realize it. Why? What was the reason? Complete absorption. He was completely absorbed. So you also will experience, sometimes you are sitting and reading a book and you got so absorbed, somebody comes and stands in front of you, you will not see. Even though your eyes are open. Eyes can be open, but you are absorbed internally because you are meditating on what you read. Sometimes book reading can be so absorbing, or chanting can be absorbing, hearing a class can be absorbing, seva can be absorbing sometimes. So absorption is one thing which makes you oblivious to the external environment. That type of absorption. So this word oblivious is a very important word in Bhakti Yoga. There's a big difference between a jnani and a bhakta. A jnani's whole focus is about how to control the senses, which are very dangerous to control, how to control the mind, how to get rid of anarthas. That is his main focus. And bhakta's focus is how to please Guru, how to please Krishna, how to render my devotional service more and more so that Lord will be more pleased with me. You are able to see the difference in focus between a jnani and a bhakta. So I'll tell you one example. You will easily understand this. In our Kunjibari temple, in those days when I was living there, one couple used to come for the morning program in a bike. They used to come, one husband and wife. So one of the days after my Bhagavatam class, they came to meet me. I saw that the wife's face was anxiety ridden. The husband was very cheerful. So I asked them, I am seeing you every morning. It's very nice. You are coming for the morning program. Husband said, yes, Prabhuji, हम छोड़ते नहीं, हर दिन आ जाते हैं. मंगलारती से लेकर भागवतम तक सब अटेंड करते हैं. He was very happy. But Mataji was like hiding behind the husband and very morose face. Then I said, I think Prabhuji, Mataji is too much trouble coming every day. Maybe you can come some other days, other days she can come. But she said, no, Prabhuji, I also enjoy all the programs. My problem is, I am sitting in the bike behind him and he is driving the bike and every morning a big bulldog chases us. In the entire 2 lanes, when he's driving the scooter, like that it is coming very fast. And I'm telling my husband, drive fast, drive fast. One time it caught my sari also. It was biting with the teeth. Fortunately, I didn't get bitten. And my husband is smiling because he's in the front. And who is suffering? Myself, I'm sitting behind. And this is a everyday problem. And the husband said, you see, dogs are sleeping. They will chase. What is the problem? You just don't look at them. You look at the other side, he's telling. But she's saying, but I'm afraid they'll bite me. So later on, after 6 months, I saw, they had a small baby also. Baby was just very tender baby, 3-4 months old baby. So they had brought, and Mataji was in a very happy mood. I asked Mataji, now you seem to be very happy now, no problem now. Now you got a Maruti car now, they said. In the car, I'm sitting inside. Dog is of course coming. Dog is chasing behind the car, but I have no fear. Why she has no fear now? She's protected inside the car. So you will see, bhaktas are like those who are driving a car. Jnanis are like the scooter drivers. Because jnanis are very vulnerable to the attacks of Maya because they have to directly confront Maya without help of Krishna or the devotees. Neither do they have association of devotees, nor can they raise their arms and call out Krishna who will come and pick them up. Krishna says, Tesham aham samuddharta mrityu samsara sagara bhavamena chirat partha mayaveshita chetasam. See, you have to be aveshita chetasam. If you are fully aveshita means absorbed. If your mind and heart you have given to Krishna, it's absorbed in Krishna. Krishna says, I will personally come to take you. He says that. But if you are absorbing your mind in Maya, then how can I come? You are not calling me. I will only come when someone remembers me, someone calls me. So therefore the Bhakti Bhava should be developed. It's very, very important. If you have developed the Bhakti Bhava, you are completely protected like somebody inside a car. Very safe and secure. Nothing to fear. One devotee asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, the Samashritaye Padapallava Plabam Mahatpadam Punya Shumarare verse he asked, what is the meaning of this? It talks about taking shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. What is the meaning of that? Should I go below Krishna's lotus feet and, should I try to get some dust or something? How do we do that? Should I go into the deity room and, get some dust from Krishna's feet? Huh? He was asking. Prabhupada said, it's a very simple thing. And then he gave an example. He said that, let us imagine on a rainy day, heavy rains, but you are sitting inside a silver coach, driven by big horses. And the silver coach has got windows on the side, and they put nice curtain also. Glass also is there, curtain is there, nicely put up. You are sitting inside. You are just opening the curtain in the glass window, you are watching the forest and the rains. Imagine if that big coach is running on the road and there is a puddle of water which is made by a calf's footprint, small. How easily the coach will cross that puddle. Like that you can cross the samsara, Prabhupada said. If you take shelter of Krishna, become a devotee. If you absorb your mind in Krishna, you can cross the samsara as easily as that. Like here you see Gauranitai dancing. The process they teach is called as Kevala Ananda Kanda. It is a part of the song. Parama Karuna Pahudu Yijana Nitai Gaura Chandra Savayavatar Sarachi Romani Kevala Kanda. So, in this song it says, Gaur Nitai are very Paramakaruna. They are extremely merciful. Because they have brought a process which is very enjoyable on one hand. At the same time, it is highly protective process. You can cross over samsara, you will not even know how you cross. It's a joyful process. It's like somebody is telling you, I'll give you 4 gulab jamuns. If you eat this, I'll give you 1 lakh rupees. If somebody says that, you say, why not? I can eat 4 more also, give me 1 more lakh. Is it not true? It's like that. Very joyful process. Chanting, dancing, feasting. And by doing this, you forget the fire of material energy. You forget the burning samsara outside. So one last thing I will say, and I will conclude the talk. When Pralambasura was killed, when Balaram killed Pralambasura, the big body of Pralambasura was lying in the jungle. Huge body. And all the covered boys lifted Balaram above their shoulder and they praised him, Jai! Balaram ki Jai, because they said such a big demon you killed so easily, effortlessly. And then after glorifying Balaram, they said, Chalo, now we are playing now. That's the most amazing thing because Balaram and Krishna and the covered boys are playing right here, and that big Asura's body is lying right here. They have no fear at all. That's a big Asura. Anytime he can get up also. He can get up and attack. Is he unconscious or is he dead? You can't be sure. But the covered boys have no fear. Therefore, it is said in the 10th canto, 19th chapter, I'll just show you. Shri Shuka Uvacha Krida Sakteshu Gopeshu Tadgavo Duracharini Tvairam Charantyo Vibhishuho Trinalobhe Nagahvaram. See, here is saying, Sukadeva is saying, the covered boys became attached to playing. Krida Asakteshu, Gopeshu, along with Krishna Balaram. They completely forgot the cows and calves. At that time, what happened to the cows? Tad gavo duracharini. The cows had finished their, eating and everything. Grasses and everything. Their stomach was full. That also is over. What do you call that? Burps. That is also over. But then they saw tall green grass, lushy green, in one forest called Munjatavi. Lot of big bamboos had grown on all sides. In the middle, these grasses were seen. So when they saw Swairam means independently. Swairam Charantyo Vivishu. Vivishu means they entered the forest of Munjatavi. That means the cowboys are playing here and the cows entered the Munjatavi forest. And why they entered? Because it is a Trinalobena Gahvaram, it is said. Because the Trinalob means greed. Because already they ate the food, ate the grass, but they became greedy for eating more. Then they entered that forest. At that time, the covered boys while playing, suddenly they woke up and saw that The cows are screaming somewhere. Huh? They didn't know why. And then they all talked to each other. "Hey, we have become so absorbed in play with Krishna Balram, we have forgotten the cow." Huh? So, and then let us find out where the cows are. And Krishna told them, "Don't worry, I am with you, I am coming with you. Let us, they must be in that forest." So they all entered the forest and there was fire from all sides. Huh? All the four sides, huge fire, about to completely engulf everybody. So the cowboys thought all the cows also and we also, everybody is going to perish. But such a huge fire from ground to the top. Huh? And forest fires are uncontrollable. Huh? You cannot, even if you call a fire brigade, you cannot burn it. You cannot put it off. It's not possible. Because they go from one tree to another. So at that time, Krishna told all the cowboys, "Don't worry, Ma Bhishta," he says, "don't worry, I am here, don't fear." Krishna told them, "All you need to do is just close your eyes, and I will finish off this fire." So all the cowboys put faith in Krishna's words. They closed the eyes. All of you think for a moment, if fire is coming from all four sides, I'm telling you, close your eyes. You'll be more fearful, right? No? Suppose you close my eyes, fire will finish me. Especially right now, I should open the eyes and see how to escape, correct? No? That's what we will think. But they all put faith in Krishna. They closed the eyes. When they closed their eyes, in one moment, Krishna, like that, he swallowed the forest fire. In one moment. Then he told them to open the eyes. When they opened the eyes, they saw lushy green forest. Everything was wonderful. As if there was no fire at all. It was gone. So, that is one very great lesson we learned from this pastime, which I told you just now. Thus, the samsara in this world, we say samsara dava nal, correct? No? Samsara dava nalalida loka. It's like a fire. So this fire of this material existence is engulfing us and torturing us through Trivida Tap. What is Trivida Tap? Adhyatmika, Adhibhotika, Adhidevika, correct? Janma Mriti, Jara Vyadi. Also Kruta Pipasa, Jara, Mrityu, Shoka and Moha. And these kind of things. So it's all burning us from all sides. It appears that we are going to be finished. It looks like that. But when you come to Krishna consciousness, Krishna told them to put faith in him. Put faith in me, then I'll protect you. And what is the proof that you have faith in me? You close your eyes to the fire, he said. Similarly, the Shastras tell us that you don't do sense gratification, do self-realization in the human form of life. Animal body is for sense gratification, human body is for self-realization, self-control and self-realization. So, in order to do that, you have to follow four regulative principles. No illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling and all that. And chanting 16 rounds, correct? No? Morning program and all these things. So if you strictly adopt this procedure that is given, so that is like agreeing to close your eyes to samsara. That means, Krishna says, don't worry about samsara. You worry all about me, how to come to me. Turn your attention to me. He says, Mayyeva mana adatsva, mayi buddhim niveshaya. Nivasishyasi mayyeva ata urdvam na samshaya. He says that if you focus your mind and senses and intelligence on me, I will easily uplift you. And I will take you back to Godhead. Have faith in me, he says. If you don't have that type of faith, at least stand 16 rounds and 4 legs. If you cannot do that also, at least, work for me. Do some seva for me at least. If you cannot do that also, at least donate and go. Some people say, take money, don't disturb me. At least give like something. Do something for the Lord. At least you turn towards me, he says. So the covered boys are top class pure devotees and they were told, close your eyes, they closed their eyes. So our closing our eyes is to close our eyes to papa vritti, papachar, prashtachar, durachar, vyabhichar. For that we have to close eyes. Because we all have one tendency. We want to be little Krishna conscious, also little Maya also we want to take side by side. Like we are going in spiritual life. Little bit here and little bit. You agree? There is a tendency to go ahead a little bit in spiritual life, and that is why we have several levels. For example, first you find devotees in yellow brigade. Yellow brigade, they say, hey, now you turn again. And then white brigade. White with shaven head. Then some more time they will go for, and occasionally again they will turn. Again after that saffron brigade. Yeah. Then you take saffron and you go ahead. Then you become so absorbed in saffron devotees, they have a lot of service to do. a lot of study and absorption, very unlikely that they are going to turn very easily. That means the turning behind to Maya should be reduced and looking towards Krishna should be increased. When you do this, then absorption will come. Huh? Because when you keep on touching Maya again and again, see, this is sinful wall and that is pure wall. But while going from the sinful life to pure life, if you look back, you fall back again and again. But if you look forward, you keep going ahead without looking back. So that's very important. Huh? So they trusted Krishna's words and they closed their eyes. And Krishna removed the samsara for them. And they saw the spiritual world very happy place like that. So increasing absorption is like converting milk into butter. Huh? If a milk is turned into dahi, then dahi you make butter. Milk can get diluted by water. Correct, no? Can butter get diluted? No, you cannot dilute. Because once you put butter in water, it remains aloof. Whereas milk mixes with water. Right now in our neophyte stage, our consciousness is more like milk. It gets diluted. So when the Maya comes, sometimes we go home, TV is going on full blast. They're talking about politics. And parents and relatives are talking till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. You're wondering, how will I get up tomorrow? Huh? Isn't it? People are chatting. Sometimes brother, sister, they may come and blah, 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 blah. They tell many, many things they may say. And they may want to share many things with you. Your old friends may come. And some people may pull you to go to movie. Huh? Many things like that. So many things drag you when you go home. And you find it very hard to do the morning program. So therefore, that is like a time of storm. Huh? While you are in the voice center here, this is time of calm. The time of calm, time of storm. Just like in a battalion, people are doing exercise, that's time of calm. Then when war comes, that is time of storm. So while you are calm, the battalion people are march past, they are doing and practicing how to shoot with the gun. So equip yourself with all the spiritual weapons. Where you should equip yourself? Here, when you're here. So do your morning program well, study well, read well, chant well, make your heart like butter, so that Krishna will come to steal it. Manohar means what? Man ko haran karne wale. So once Krishna steals your heart, then you can have a t-shirt. I lost my heart in. After that you can wear the t-shirt. Otherwise people are wearing I lost my heart in Vrindavan, they're eating cone ice cream. Outside standing somewhere, simply putting a t-shirt doesn't, complete the thing. So actually we should actually lose our heart to Krishna. When will it happen? When our heart becomes like butter. Butter means aloof from Maya and absorbed in Krishna. This is the secret for you to never be touched by Maya. Bhishma Pitama, Akrura, all these personalities were living surrounded by dirty association, like a lotus in a kichad. Bhishma was like a lotus in the midst of kichad, like Sava. Dushta Chatushtayam. Four Dushtas were living there. Shakuni, Duryodhana, Dushasana, and Karna, and all these people. Every day they were talking political things, but he was never affected. Vidura and you will see Vidura and Bhishma, they remained like lotuses. Same with Akrura living in Kamsa's palace as a minister, untouched completely. So because their heart is like butter, they didn't get diluted. So I have told you the ultimate secret. There are many smaller solutions for keeping yourself Krishna conscious, but this is the ultimate solution. If I have given my heart to Krishna, then I don't have to worry about anything. Krishna actually will exactly teach you the Tadame Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenamam Piyandite. He will tell you the right thing at the right time. Do this, don't do this, this is good for you, it's bad for you. He keeps on giving instructions and constantly supplying instruction, either himself or through the devotees, through our superiors. He will always get, because Krishna is concerned about you. You are giving your heart to him, then he feels obliged. Oh, he told Draupadi, when you called me, see here, one time when Krishna was cutting fruits with a knife, and Draupadi had given some fruits to him, he was cutting, and there was a drop of blood. Draupadi immediately came running, and she tore the end of her costly sari, and immediately put in Krishna's finger. And what Krishna told her, you see. Read it, one of you, what she said, what he said.
Probably I am indebted to you. I will get my bank account, so I will pay you back on each and every day.
Today, Draupadi, I'm indebted to you, and when the time comes, I will pay you back for each and every thread. He told, how did he do that? This is the time he did. Huh? When Draupadi was in great trouble, Dushasana was trying to disrobe her naked in the public. She was trying to catch with her hand and later on with the teeth. She thought, how will I save myself? And then finally she understood, nobody can save me. Then she raised her arms and she cried out, Hey Krishna, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopijanvallabha, Hey Dwarakavasin, like that. At the time Krishna supplied unlimited sari, continuously. So she gave one strip of cloth and for that Krishna gave unlimited sari to her, like this. So that is Krishna's promise. So this is a Krishna performs many, many pastimes in this world to charm our hearts. So this is a very good month. You can read Krishna book and increase your affection, attraction for Krishna. And the more our mind, in my very early days, IIT days, I read this chapter on the gopis meditating on Krishna's flute when Krishna goes to forest. Correct, no? So the gopis are describing now Krishna must be eating lunch. Now, the deers must be coming. They're saying demigods are getting down and deers are going to see him and they're doing Leela Smarana. That chapter was my most favorite chapter. So when we develop attraction for his pastimes and that absorbs our mind, then everything else will follow. And that's why Srila Prabhupada said, this Krishna book I have given is a solace for the devotees, he said. In Kali Yuga, it's a burning age, but Krishna book is like AC room. When you read the Krishna book, you feel like soothing feeling. You forget the samsara. You remember the Goloka. Your consciousness goes from Bhuloka to Goloka. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. They're very inspired. And I am sure you would have given your card to many people. So the center will become popular more and more. Your hall was a small one before, half of the size you had, correct, at that time. Now you have almost 30, 40 devotees can attend here, I think. More than 40 devotees can attend the morning program. You have enough place to dance also here. Beautiful place. Very, very wonderful. So, Amya Masun Prabhu, Radhapad Pankaj Prabhu, and Kripa, what is his name? Kripa, I know his name is Kripa Sindhu, old name. What's the new name? Kripa Sindhu, Trivikram Prabhu. So they are all coming here, correct, no? They all come. Who else comes? Radheshyam also comes, very good. You come here? Radheshyam Prabhu. Whenever he's in Pune, he comes, very good. So you're getting a lot of good association, very wonderful. So actually your protection in life from Krishna comes through the devotees. You attend the classes, ask questions, shoot down pockets of doubts in your mind with sharp spiritual intelligence. Because when doubts are dispelled, nashto moha smritir labdha tat prasadan mayachyuta stithahasmi. I am fixed in Krishna consciousness, he is saying. Stithahasmi. Kata sandeha means all my doubts are finished, cleared. Karishye vasanam tava, he said. So now I will act as you order me, Krishna. So this is the state we all want to attain also, by hearing the classes and rendering devotion service. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.